So there's so basically like kind of like an overview, and this is from a few days ago, mind you. So there may be more, and a
Yeah.
lot of what I like interpret could be wrong.
Mm.
So just to be clear about that, so take it with a grain of salt. But so how I get it is basically Jiraiya and his squad with like Minato and like his little guys, kind of like his Sakura and his Sasuke.
His little guys.
Yeah, they're going up against Roshi, the Jinchuriki of Son Goku, and
Hmm.
Han, the Jinchuriki of Kokuo. So I think that's the 5 and 4 tails from the Stone Village. So they're in some tough situations here. So I think that happens, and this is where Minato sees the Tail Beast Bomb, and he gets inspired to create the Rasengan, which we know takes 3 years to do. So we do know that he does learn the Rasengan at some point in this manga, which means that it takes it takes place over the course of 3 years or so. Um, it looks like he's having difficulty learning it, but then Jiraiya does the whole your hair pattern with the swirl thing, and I think Jiraiya gives him a hint about how to use it. This is just my interpretation of it. I can't read Japanese, so I think he yeah, I think he masters the Rasengan from Jiraiya, and then something happens with Kushina. I think the Anbu Black Ops are following her. She subdues them with her chains, and then she kind of like rages out and
Mm.
goes into like Tail Beast like 7 tail state, and then like almost kills Minato. And then Minato has to fight the 9 tails in her mind space, like Naruto did with Killer Bee. And he has a Rasengan clash, gets knocked out, and wakes up, and I think Tsunade kills him. Um, so I think that's generally the gist of it. Now,
Did you
that's
just
just
spill the whole manga for us in like cliff notes?
yeah, like
You did.
little bulletin points there, but I'm sure like there's a lot of
That's
context and a
wild.
lot of stuff that I'm reading into based upon like the pictures. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
wild.
pretty much as I'm going on, well, as I'm listening, I'm pretty much looking over a lot of the spoiler images. I pretty much just typed the Minato spoilers into Twitter. Pretty much
I
everything
can't even
came
do
out.
that. My computer's going to freeze. So
Yeah, but
y'all can.
so age wise, we think like Minato is around like what at this point, like 20, or it starts at he's like what 21, 19, or something around that age, and
Him
then
and
It's
goes
Kushina's dating at that time, right?
yeah.
well, they've been dating since they were kids, though. I mean, they've been flirting around with that, so it's difficult to say. I think maybe it just all depends on how old you think Minato is when he's fighting the tail beast. Because is he like 17 around? Is this like teen Minato back then? I'm not
That's
sure.
kind of what I was saying at the start. Well, I thought he might have been 19, 21. He became Hokage. Well, he was one of the youngest Hokages. He became that around like 25, right? If I'm not
I think
mistaken.
he died around 25. I'm not sure.
Oh damn, so 24. Oh,
Well,
let me
he
see.
wasn't. Yeah, about to say he wasn't Hokage long though.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure about the timeline. I will say I think he's probably by the time he masters the Rasengan and stuff with Kushina happens in the manga, he's probably 20 and or up, but at
This
least 20, I would say.
this would be a dope time to have Naruto explain on. Is there like
Exactly.
do we have like a definitive age that he was when Naruto was born? Do we know that?
Probably that should be a question for our trivia thing, our little game. Maybe.
Oh well, that helps. Yo, shout out to
Um
Royal Rome by the way for the $10 donation.
yeah,
He
I'm
didn't say
sure
anything.
somebody in
Just type
chat
the
can
$10 donation.
put his own game with the whole timelines and stuff.
Well, we got a main. Hold on, let me see here.
I'm seeing like
Ambassador Kush said he died at 24.
yeah, I kind of seen that on Google as well. I'm kind of googling. They don't necessarily have specifically when he became the Hokage. I'm seeing a lot of answers from like 21 to like 23, anywhere from those. So that's when he become Hokage. So this is pretty much like any time before that.
So isn't he older than he's like 10 years older than Kakashi, right? So, huh. He died young. Pretty young. Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't take your word for it.
Yeah, because if they said he was the youngest Hokage and he died during his Hokage tenure and it wasn't that long into it, yeah, he was pretty young.
Yeah, I do. I want to reiterate Okay, we don't know. We are looking stuff up because, bro, I did a live stream and I just made some assumptions about the timeline. And bro, you know how people in the comment section are. It's
No,
like,
we know. This is
well,
all right.
well,
This is all
Mello,
facts we're speaking.
Mr. Dreamer, you're incorrect, and I have all the answers. And give me your YouTube channel. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, I literally said I didn't know. Leave me alone.
Yo, but all right,
Fuck,
something that
dude.
we can be objective on. Since you guys see the spoiler mangas and leaks, in that article I was reading, it says that a lot of people has been criticizing Ikimoto on his drawing because Kishimoto drew this manga
It looks great.
and it looks
great.
amazing. Yeah, so like they say that Boruto is monthly. So do you think like the scrutiny that he's receiving as far as his art goes compared to Kishimoto's is warranted?
Probably not. I Bar, maybe you want to go first?
Well, in my personal opinion, I don't necessarily think that this should be like a comparison because everybody knows Ikimoto's doing this like on like a monthly type of schedule, and Kishimoto presumably had like a bunch of time to like put this together. But in my personal opinion, I mean, we've talked about how the Boruto illustration hasn't necessarily been the best, hasn't necessarily been completely up to par. And to be honest, like the only thing that I could possibly see that would actually change it would be the illustrators. So I don't necessarily want to say it's completely too unwarranted, but I'd say that this specifically isn't the piece you should be comparing to the Boruto manga. If it should be anything else, make it be like another actual series, like another actual concurrent series, not just like a one-shot manga.
Well, they do kind of compare it to all the other mangas that has been released on what is it, Shueisha. So I guess Boruto's art is like one of the I guess you want to say one of the worst out of all the like the flagship animes and mangas that has been coming through Shueisha, even the weekly ones.
Yeah, I definitely I want to know, no question. I mean, Mello reads One Piece as well. I mean, he pretty much sees the One Piece or the difference between One Piece and Boruto damn near on a weekly or monthly basis.
That's
It's
a
night and day.
Shueisha product, Mello?
I don't know about all that kind of stuff. That's not my jam. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't completely know about
I don't keep
that,
up
but
with the details about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't.
Okay.
But just as far as how the Boruto manga looks, I'd say the criticism is warranted just because in comparison to other mangas, Boruto doesn't look that well. But in comparison to this, I wouldn't necessarily like give Kishimoto like all the kudos and brownie points because he's not really doing this like on a monthly basis.
Sorry,
It's not
hold
really
on.
a grind.
Real quick, bro. There's some background noise.
That's my fan. You guys started noticing after I muted.